Hi Anitra, Stacey here. Now I wanted to make you a video that would help inspire you with some content creation ideas. I'm going to specifically focus around Instagram and also kind of give you a few examples. Now I may not have got the exact imagery right, but I want you to understand my thinking around generating these ideas and then kind of take that and use that to come up with some ideas that you feel really fit the brand. So first and foremost, let me tell you what I did and how I really approached this. So if we come, oh, 1 second, over to here, we have a copy of your customer avatar. And what I did was I went through your avatar and I was looking at, her holistic lifestyle. Who is she? What does she do? What does she love? What interests her? Excuse me. And the bits that you see highlighted are things that stood out for me. So she's a globetrotter, so South Africa, Thailand, Italy. So I'm thinking, how can I create any inspirational content around countries and globetrotting, traveling? I love this word Afro Lux. I'd love to explore a bit more. What does that mean? Um, Come down here that she's well read. I'm thinking about what is she reading, what's on her bedside cabinet, what, sorry, excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold. What are the coffee table books that she likes? Then I came down here and I saw the style inspiration and I started thinking about how you can celebrate these women, what are great images of Fatima or Tracy Ellis Ross or Solange, etc. Came down here, spirituality, natural hairstyles, etc. So let me give you a bit of an insight into where I'm going with this. So if we go over to your Instagram right now, one of the things that stands out for me is that your feed is pretty much all um, product. Now, the reason I think this could change is because I think your woman has a holistic lifestyle. She has other interests, other desires, other things that that she loves, and I feel like your feed should be a little bit more of a place that she can go to see more of the things that she loves, more things about her needs, her desires, her wants, that are in the African diaspora, that actually give your feed a bit more variety and a bit more, creativity. And another reason for this is that what I've noticed here is that a lot of these images are incredibly color heavy. And part of the color isn't the issue. The issue is that there's nothing really to break it out. So one specific thing stands out to me. And so, say if I'm in your feed and I kind of see all the images, I feel like we should be breaking this up with some sort of negative space, some lighter space. And I see here as well, because you're using all of your own imagery, maybe sometimes you feel kind of stuck for what to post. So I really want to encourage you to start looking for, other people's content that you can share. That's really, really normal on Instagram. Of course, there's a protocol around it. You need to tag people, you need to credit people for their work. But I really think that it's not only a way to kind of keep your feed a bit more diverse, have a bit more different types of imagery that you might not have yourself, but it's also a great way to build connections, to build partnerships, to shout out people who you'd like to maybe potentially work with in the future, or on whose radar you'd just like to be on. So going back to what I was saying here, when I was like looking at your customer avatar, I went through and I pulled up some posts that I thought were pretty cool, and I thought of ways that maybe you could use them. So I was thinking, that is there a way that you can create content that's a bit like this, maybe within your home? So you've got one bright colored cushion and then quite a lot of neutral colors around it, so that I'm actually seeing the product in use. I think that could really be great on your profile, and also something you can do at home. Now, I really loved this image here. And what I loved about it was just, it was such a beautiful celebration of black women through the hair, the skin, the colours. But you can also see there's a lot of negative space around her. So she really jumps out. There's ways that you can use this type of content to really just lift women up, speak about her beauty, speak about her hair, speak about the colours, ask a question. Let's go over to this one. I really, really love this one because it just feels so candid, so natural. I love how she's wrapped her hair, but I also love all this white space around her. So again, I would be sharing a post like this saying, talking about, the melanin in her skin and the beautiful way that she's wrapped her scarf, or, the origins of kente cloth or protective hairstyles, or whatever it is that you want to do to bring relevance to the image that you're sharing. So this is a great place to say that your images shouldn't be random. They should be related to a lifestyle, a story, a mood, a feeling, an experience that you want your Instagram followers to have when they come onto your profile. You want them to actually enjoy seeing your images because they always get something kind of in the same wheelhouse, but fresh, new, exciting, educational, inspirational, or informative. And then there was this one here. What I really thought could be cool with something like this would be to, post a picture like this and say, caption this. It's a great way to get some engagement on your page. I think you're going to definitely get some funny captions. Obviously, you would be tagging the photographer and the couple, etc. But can you see how you're able to bring more of the African, experience, the Black experience into your feed by also mood boarding with other people's imagery. Now, I also looked at how you could create your own imagery. I'm thinking about quotes and stuff like that that will again help to break your feed up. And this type of content is what I call like an easy win. It's like really easy to get a lot of likes, shares, comments, that type of thing. And I created a couple for you here. Now, what I actually did was I went over to your feed and I was like, what's a common color that comes up quite a lot here? And I noticed that it's, a lot of this kind of the mustardy colors, the woody colors, the turmeric, this orange comes up quite a lot, this kind of colors. So I got a little color grab from somewhere. I can't remember exactly which image it was. And I came over here and I was like, what's some kind of like funny, street culture, pop culture, African or Black pop culture references or things that you can use that are just, fun and really light-hearted. And I was thinking of, Anderson .Paaks, yes, loud. And, it's something that so many of us are familiar with as well. So I created a quick quote graphic for you. As you can see, really, really simple. It's got your logo on underneath, and then I came down here and I see you mentioned Deepak Chopra of one of her inspirations, and I got a little quote from Deepak Chopra: in the midst of movement and chaos, keep stillness inside of you. And I'm thinking, what can you say about, meditation or affirmations, or, managing the daily life of an entrepreneur, or, what can you say that makes this personal to the Reflection Design brand, that is going to speak to the Reflection Design customer? So as you can see, let's come back over. That is a couple of ideas that you can use to break up the feed. So kind of let's have a little look at it. So let's just say maybe this could have been a quote, or this one here could have been a quote. I'm not saying to change, I'm saying going forward. So maybe for every 6 squares, you have one quote, but definitely having an image that has a more negative or neutral background. And I would try and have one with a neutral background on every line, actually, because it's just going to help break up the visual and make things stand out a little bit more. Now, I also want to speak to you about growing your following, because obviously we want to be, building these followers up. And a part of that is you need to be following people also. So be very reciprocal. What you want to happen for yourself, you need to make happen for others. So a couple of things I would do is I would go through everyone who you're following now. And I would just kind of like go through and just have a little look and be, when was the last time this person posted? Let's have a look at her last post. Okay, 7 days ago. Is she still posting stuff? Like, is she still going to be the type of person who likes what I do? I guess what I'm saying is, first and foremost, have a little clean out of your followers. And by clean out, I don't mean people who don't follow you. I just mean people who are not likely to be an ideal customer, or who are not active on Instagram because they're not going to see your posts. And then I would start looking at people who are your competitors. So here's a place that I like to start. I'm going to go through and see if I can find any kind of competitor type brands. Let's have a little look. this? Hold on. Let's go in here. Okay, so although this isn't a competitor, she's definitely got the sort of audience that you would want to get to. I mean, let's come through. This is a great place to find some images that you can mood board with, i.e. reshare. This is a great one. That's a great one. That's a great one. I would think about your colours. I would think that warm tone that you have. I probably would stay in the sort of like turmeric warm tone area. This is beautiful. Maybe not that one, but can you see the colours, you know? They kind of stay in your theme. This is beautiful also. Okay, now what I also like to do here now is I come and I look at their followers. So I would come in here and then I would go through and see who from their followers would be a good person or who would be interested in what I have to sell. So let's maybe come in and go to Chocolate Chica. Okay, so one thing I definitely would advise against is if the profile is private, don't follow them. So let's go there. Earth Strong Accessories. Okay, let's have a little look through. Okay, these guys aren't posting a lot, so I wouldn't follow them. Orlina Elizabeth. Private. We're going to go through until we find someone so I can actually really just talk you through it. Okay, cool. Let's have a little look through. All right, this type of woman might enjoy some of your products. Okay, so what I would do is I would go through, I would follow, then I would go and like a couple of images and make a comment about that image, like, you know, great jumpsuit girl or whatever it is. Like, it doesn't have to be salesy. All you're doing is getting on her radar in some way. So one of the kind of benchmarks that I use is I go in and I like 3 pictures, comment on 1, follow, and rapidly keep it moving. So like come back and just keep doing that until you followed at least, you know, 10 to 15 people from this one profile.